This is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News here at the 34th Miami Film Festival. We're here at the main press junket where several of the different filmmakers are here representing their films. Some are directors, some are talent, including actors, and some producers as well. Some of the films we'll be interviewing today and representing include Lipstick Under My Burqa, which is an Indian film. Woodpeckers. We'll also be interviewing the filmmakers for tonight's red carpet premiere of Cargo, which is a kind of a Haitian-based film that was actually filmed in the Bahamas. Stay tuned for all of our interviews today and for even more at FloridaNationalNews.com. This is Melissa Thomas from the Standard Hotel and Spa in Miami Beach. Miami Film Festival with Lorna Scherfig, who's the director of Their Finest, which will be premiering this evening, actually, starring Ms. Gemma Arterton and even Bill Nighy, a lot of big name British stars. First, give us the inspiration. What inspired you to do this particular historic film?
It's a beautiful script, and it's about filmmaking when it was more important than ever during the London Blitz. And there's just so many things I love in the script. Films, men, that period that is full of emotion, and there's a lot of humor in the script and in the cast, obviously. So I've had a great time with this film.
How long did it take you to produce?
It only took a year from when I first started till the film was done, which is fast. But it's fine to shoot comedy quite fast because it survives better if you're not too tense. And we just wanted to get it done for Toronto Film Festival, and then it was at Sundance and now in Miami. So,
well, congratulations on the run. How has the audience reception been so far in those different film festivals?
I've sat and just enjoyed that people laughed in all the places that we were hoping they would. It's very different to show it here because the American audiences are louder. But I think they laugh in the same places as they do in Britain, and people get moved too. It is quite heartbreaking at times, the film. So and because it's about cinema, and you see cinema audiences in the film, it makes great sense to see it in a cinema because the audience in the cinema and the audience on screen have a good time together, so to speak.
Awesome. What has been, like throughout the entire production, what has been the most meaningful moment for you?
Oh, I think because it's about a script writer and I write scripts myself, there are moments where Gemma Arterton, where I can see how she finds out how much fun work can be. And those moments stay with me. And then working with Bill Nighy. And shooting again with Sam Claflin, I've worked with him before, but in this part, which is much more screwball, he's more like a Cary Grant type, which is a completely new character for him. That's been fun to see him find new parts of his range. So I think the collaboration with them.
Amazing. Well, congrats again, and we look forward to a great audience reception here in Miami.
I hope so. Thank you.
National News
Thanks.
here with Jose Cabral, the director of Woodpeckers, which is showing here at the 34th Miami Film Festival. Jose, thank you so much for submitting your movie, and first of all, give our audience an overview of what Woodpeckers is about.
Well, actually, thank you for this moment, and I'm really excited to be here at the festival. Woodpeckers it's a love story in a prison. And that's why I love the story, because I actually think about prison, I think about violence, and I think about like unbearable conditions people live. But in this particular prison, that's Najayo in the Dominican Republic, they have developed their own sign language to communicate between one prison and the other. So it's actually a love story through sign language between the men facility and the woman facility. And that's how I developed the story.
That's amazing. So what first inspired you to begin work on the project?
It was a friend told me, you gotta see this. He was giving classes in Najayo, and he's like, you gotta come down and see this. And when I saw it, and when I saw how people were passionate talking about the other person they were in love, and I mean, some of them were criminals, some of them were like, but seeing humanity even on those, like, I always think about it, and I always think about prison and prisoners, and you kind of stay away from them, but then you see there's also a light in them. There's also a need for communicate, a need for love, and that's what inspired me to make this film.
Amazing. Now we see that it's already run March 4th, which was yesterday. How was the audience reception?
Great, I loved it. It was packed. People really liked it. They stayed for the Q&A, and I'm really excited for the March 10th screening.
National News. We are here with Miss Alankrita Shirastav, the director of Lipstick Under My Burqa, which is premiering here at the 34th Miami Film Festival. But you just mentioned that it was recently banned in your native country of India. Kind of talk about that.
Yeah. Actually, the film is a story about 4 women, ordinary women in small town India in search of a little freedom. And the censor board in India found that the film is too lady-oriented, is what they said. And they refused us certification in India. So right now, this big battle is on in us trying to reverse that decision, because essentially they found the film to be too feminist and it sort of made them uncomfortable.
Interesting. Is it a film that would provide empowering themes for female viewers? Something that makes them feel stronger when they watch it?
I don't know what's stronger, but I feel it'll definitely make. That's my intent. That one feels a sense of empathy, and one feels for the characters, and one feels a sense of oneness with them, their joys and sorrows, their ups and downs, their little dreams, and the suffocation of their dreams as well.
Awesome. What do you feel has been the most meaningful moment for you, like in producing the movie, in directing it and everything?
It's really hard to say, because it's been a long journey and quite a difficult journey. But I guess I think right now, because of the fact that the film has been banned in India, I feel as women, we are really being challenged in India, because they're really trying to silence our voices. And I feel perhaps not in the making of it, but the fact in its struggle to actually be shown to Indian audiences is perhaps the most defining moment of the film, because it's actually ripped open the deep patriarchal mindset that India is functioning in, and especially Indian cinema, which is really focused, mainstream Indian cinema is really focused on objectifying women, and the gaze is very clearly a very strong male gaze. So I feel for me, I guess this has become like the most important moment, because it's become so important, and women across the country are really speaking up, saying that there's so much violence against women in India, and there's so much gender discrimination, and we would really like to take ownership of our stories, and we should have a space where we can tell our stories. And so I feel that somehow the film is becoming like a movement for women in India. And now I feel that's perhaps the most defining thing about the film.
National News here, Miss Susan Johnson, representing the film Carrie Pilby here at the 34th Miami Film Festival. Kind of give our audience an overview of your film.
Carrie Pilby is based on a book by Karen Lissner of the same name. It's about a young girl who graduates Harvard 4 years early and finds herself living in New York City in a world she sees as full of oversexed hypocrites. And so she's trying to figure out how to connect to people that she doesn't really understand or connect with.
Awesome. What do you feel was the greatest challenge in filming this movie?
Greatest challenge is always finding financing for female directors, especially. We have a really great cast, and we're very fortunate, so that was not so difficult on this movie, but then getting the word out is always tricky. So thanks for interviewing me.
Definitely, we're glad to help. How has your film been received so far?
It's been great. This is we screen tonight in Miami and tomorrow, but we're coming out theatrically in the United States on the 31st of this month, so we're very excited, and then we're going worldwide for the rest of the year, so we're thrilled.
Definitely. And what's next for you after Carrie Pilby?
Another young adult book that we've just it's written into a script, and we'll start pre-production on that in the next month, and another film after that. So I'm excited. I'm off and running. We'll see. Cross your fingers.
Cross your fingers. Is young adult your a genre that sticks out most for you?
It does. I just I read a lot of it growing up, and I just think that there's so much wonderful material and really great role models there for younger kids. So I'm excited to be part of that.
News. We are here with Paradise Too Far, which is one of the projects that is being shown here at the 34th Miami Film Festival. We are here with Marlene and Denis. So kind of give us an overview, give our audience an overview of what the film is about.
Well, it's a story of a brother and a sister who are both mentally challenged, and they run away in the middle of winter because they don't understand what it means when they were told that their mother went to paradise. So basically, she's deceased, and they go on a road movie trying to understand what happened. And so it's a movie about grieving, but mostly about the relationship, because there's some tensions between the brother and the sister. And it's a film that's a bit like a fable, because it tells the story through the eyes of those special characters. So that's about it.
Okay. And Marie, kind of give us your idea of what the most meaningful moment was for you with this film.
I think it's when we finally understand that our mother is dead and she will not come back anymore. Because actually the whole movie we're trying to reach the paradise, because we don't understand where she is anymore. So then we kind of find it, and then we see that she's not there, and we start to cry, and then me and my brother get along together well after that. I think so.
Awesome. How long did the production take overall?
Well, we started writing it in 2009, and then got a few versions. Got the first financing in 2013, and eventually we started shooting last year. It was a 25-day shoot in the winter, 24 plus 1 day in the summer. So we just ended it February 26th last year, and then the editing process, post-production, we just finished it 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Yes. So this is like fresh off the press, basically.
It's a world premiere. The public yesterday saw it for the first time ever.
How did it go? How did the audience receive it?
Well, I think it went very well. Yeah, people said they were moved. Marine told me a woman told her she was crying, but I was not going after that. But I think it left people touched, and that was what. For me, it's a very touching story. So I'm happy that the audience received it that way.
Awesome. And what's next for each of you? What's the next project?
I just finished a movie with Simon Lavoie. It's the guy that won sorry, that won the best Canadian film this year at TIFF Festival, and it's called The Little Girl Who Likes Matches Too Much. It's based on a novel that was translated in more than 20 languages. So it's a big movie, I think, and it's gonna release in September or something. Yeah.
And I want to add, my film was her first feature. And she was very young, and she still is. She says she's only 18 today, and she won an award at 14 in a short film for Best Actress in Quebec. Yeah, she's a great actor. She's a great actor.
Okay, so what's coming up next for you?
Oh, I have a few projects. We'll see what happens. I have one about pollution scandal with the army in Quebec City, and maybe that's the next one we're gonna tackle. We'll see.
Melissa Thomas here for Florida National News at the 34th Miami Film Festival. So far, this is day 3. The film festival, however, is running all the way till March 12th. So if you haven't gotten your tickets yet, go to MiamiFilmFestival.com to learn more, or visit our site, FloridaNationalNews.com, for more details. We're here on Miami Beach at the Standard Hotel and Spa. All of the events for the film festival are bouncing between Miami Beach, whether it's O Cinema, here at the Standard Hotel, and within downtown Miami at the classic Olympia Theater. So stay tuned for more for FloridaNationalNews.com. This is Melissa Thomas.